Okay, coming to the limitations of equivalence checking. Okay, so till now we have seen the advantage and solutions. Now what is the limitation? The main limitation when using EC involve timing and debugging. Okay, you cannot perform timing checks in equivalence checking, whereas you can perform the timing verification with the help of functional simulation. Okay, so if you are using equivalence checking, you have to perform timing verification with the help of static timing analysis tool. So EC verifies the functionality of the design only and does not address any timing issues. See, okay. So timing verification need to be performed by a separate static timing analysis tool. That is what I explained you. So most label EC tool generate reports which list signals that are different along with the reason for the difference. Okay. So if you see the netlist or not netlist, if you see the log file, okay, when after verifying the design, they will give you a log file where you can see your results. So they will mostly give you an error pertaining to signal names, not signal, list of signals that are different. So they will give you the difference in that signal. Okay, it can be cumbersome and time consuming to find the exact cause of error, and verification team often perform functional simulation to find the cause. So if it is a big simulation, okay, but what they are trying to say, if it is a GUI mode is available, okay, in case of if GUI mode is available, you can find the source of error. They will give you a trace, but so it will you have seen object window in model sim, object window, right? So you can only see the from where input is coming and where is the error. They will show the block, okay, they will not show here is the error. Okay, that is what they are trying to say. Now coming to the category of equivalence checking. So first is RTL to RTL verification, what we are doing here. So already I explained you, means just I will give you a top level view what is RTL to RTL. Okay, RTL to RTL verification is generally performed to verify the non-functional changes in the design. Okay, as I have taken you example now before the same RTL to gate level netlist verification. Okay, we'll see what is the problem. Some synthesis specific issues that can cause problem for RTL gate ECs are described below. Okay, we know that we are having synthesis pragmas. Okay, because of synthesis pragmas we are directing the synthesis tool to perform some optimization. Okay, but we are only directing the synthesis tool, we are not directing the simulation tool. In that case you will get synthesis simulation mismatches. So who will find those? This formal verification tool can find those synthesis simulation mismatches like this. So this is a synthesis pragma. Okay, so this is a parallel case, means it will evaluate all the statements in parallel, but in simulation it will execute sequentially. So there is a mismatch between RTL and gate level netlist. Okay, so you can identify those things in the equivalence checking. Gate level netlist to gate level netlist verification. So once the synthesized netlist has been proven to be functionally equivalent to the RTL representation, successive equivalence checkings are run between the various transformation of the synthesized netlist. Now they are running equivalence checking on the after scan insertion you will get one netlist, after synthesis you will get one netlist. They are performing cross comparison here. So see, pre-scan and post-scan insertion, before scan insertion and after scan insertion you are taking and performing. So inserting scan logic changes the functionality of the design. So scan, you know scan insertion. Do you know something about scan insertion? Actually scan insertion is a okay, why we are adding scan chains means after manufacturing when your chip is coming, you need to verify again your chip. You are not verify, you need to test your chip. Okay, so scan insertion is added inside your design for testing purpose. That is DFT, design for testability. They are talking from test point. Okay. For that we need to add scan chains. To perform EC between pre-scan and post-scan gate level netlist, disable the test logic by applying suitable constant value at the test enable inputs. This is scan enable input. Okay, when this is 1, during that only you are working in test mode. Okay, even in so there are two modes. One is functional mode and one is scan mode. Okay, so basically in scan mode your design will work somewhat slower. Okay, in functional mode your design will work much more faster. So when you are performing equivalence checking you have to disable this. Okay, because you are verifying gate level. Simulation can be used to verify the test logic function correctly, scan chain connections are correct, and test control logic properly drives the scan logic. Those all things they are going to check. So you see, if somebody will ask you to example at gate level netlist, we can say this: before scanning and after scanning. Okay. After clock tree synthesis, already I told, we have to port the clock tree to the design compiler. So these are, one more is pre-layout, post-layout netlist. Pre-layout means before layout. Okay. Post-layout means after layout. So pre-layout means will come basically before synthesis, when we are going with wire load models. Post-layouts means when you are routing, after routing we'll get post-layouts. Now coming to debugging. So when an equivalence checker discovers that output or the state bit in the two versions being compared are not functionally equivalent, it produces a. To diagnose the cause of different netlist view in the figure, do the following. So what is the process? We'll see. Review the input of the multiplexer. So first we'll check the inputs of the multiplexer here. 1 0, here 1 1. Gate driving the output. Because the logic gate drive the outputs are same. So first you have to start debugging from here, output terminal. You move it from output to input, because here less pins are there, here more pins are there. If inputs are not coming here, then somewhere here problem. Okay. Two of the inputs of the mux gate is in the two views of the are same, while the third one is different. So it turns out that AND gates drive the different input of the mux gate in the following view. So here is a different, right? So this means that no problem here in this path, only problem is somewhere in this path. Okay. So they will start debugging here. So they will found that you are forcing 1 1 here, 1 here, you are forcing 0. This is the source of error. Okay. So you got how they are debugging. They are starting from the output. Trace the input of the AND gate in the two views. One of the input of the AND gate is same in both views, and other input is different. So the input is being driven by the mux gate in both the view. You see AND gate. So this mux is driving. Okay. So after that, from here you are going here. Okay. You will debug from here. So what it is coming here? 1. So here what is coming? 1. So there is no problem here. Okay. Now you will come here.